youtube.com/Bryan Fonseca. We are back with another video. Make sure that you do like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Here, we're looking to just grow the YouTube channel independently. Don't have a lot of help, really any help doing this, except support. So please be sure to do that, especially if you like what you see, and even if you don't, even if you hate watch, I'll take that too. Today, we're going to look at Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias is a Puerto Rican boxer, super lightweight, former world champion who is on the road to redemption, so to speak. But we're going to see what went wrong with Subriel Matias in his last contest, because he was outboxed at home, had everything set up for him in Puerto Rico. Title defense, big deal, matchroom boxing, facing Liam Paro. He was a big favorite. He got outboxed in his home native land. So there's a fight coming up this weekend as the time we're recording this, but even if you watch this well after, this is going to be relevant for reasons that we're going to outline as this progresses. But let's look closer into that Liam Paro fight to determine why what happened ended up happening. And then at the end, a brief discussion on whether or not Subriel Matias can rediscover what made him arguably the most fearsome puncher and a world champion at 140 pounds. Subriel Matias Liam Paro took place June 15th, 2024. Subriel Matias' first title defense, IBF World Super Lightweight Championship, after beating Ergashev late in 2023. And at the time we're recording this, he's going to face Roberto Ramirez this weekend in a return bout. That's going to be at Coliseo Ruben Rodriguez, and that's going to be in Bayamon, Puerto Rico. So, Subriel Matias. Let's see what he did in this fight against Liam Paro and why this went wrong. Should mention that the scorecards for this bout, Liam Paro did not get robbed. I thought he might have, but he did not. 115, 112 on two cards, 116, 111 on another. And he was deducted 1 point for holding in the seventh round. I do remember that. He was holding a lot in this fight, but it was all part of the strategy and it ended up working out. So here we go. Subriel Matias, Liam Paro, and how this translates to today when you're watching this. Subriel Matias is famously a slow starter. He's somebody who, even in this fight against Ponce, he was getting his ass whooped in round one of that fight. Was absolutely getting destroyed, and then he popped up and dominated the rest of that fight and got the early stoppage. Same thing with Ergashev. Ergashev rocked him in round one multiple times, and then Subriel Matias came back, dominated the fight. So early on, it looked like it was going to be much of the same. And Subriel Matias here is just kind of taking shots, figuring out, what Liam Paro likes to do. And Liam Paro is doing a great job of managing his range here. Obviously, as you can see, is a southpaw. And we're going to slow certain things down and get to more of what actually happened right now. But just wanted to showcase this early portion because while he's getting his ass kicked, it's kind of by design because Subriel Matias does that. The thing is, he starts to turn it on in round two. That didn't necessarily happen this time. Okay, so here we have Subriel Matias finally getting Liam Paro on the ropes, which is where he wants to do a lot of his damage. A flurry there. Doesn't get all of it, really. We'll show this at full speed right now. A couple shots there, but nothing crazy, and Paro was able to get off the ropes and push him. There was a lot of pushing and holding, but again, that's part of the strategy. He was trying to keep his distance. He was trying to keep the range. Ultimately, this was successful, and it was bothering Subriel Matias. So this is what you're looking to do right here. Just on the inside, he throws this uppercut. Boom. Doesn't get all of it, really, and is able to block a hook coming back at him. A left hook from Liam Paro, which, yeah, that's a natural response. Few box. You get pegged on the inside with an uppercut, kind of opens the other man up to the hook if they don't react quick enough. Subriel did in this instance. Subriel Matias is 5'8" with a 71-inch reach. So despite the fact that he's going to have a reach advantage over plenty of guys that he fights in this weight class, he does like to use that size and imposing ability to fight on the inside. He is 20-2 with 20 knockouts in his career. So he's knocked out everybody that he's fought against, including one loss early on in his career that was since avenged, except for Liam Paro. He did not beat Liam Paro, obviously. Liam Paro, 25-0, 15 knockouts, is also 5'8" with a 71-inch reach and a southpaw. So a little bit longer, a little bit craftier compared to some of these other opponents. Roberto Ramirez, comparatively, is 6 feet tall, but he has a negative reach, a 69-inch reach. So he has basically a 5'9" reach, despite the fact that he's 6 feet tall. and orthodox fighter, so a little bit more standard for Subriel Matias, and he's going to look to do some of these same things in terms of getting on the inside against Ramirez. Liam Paro wants to be here, this sort of mid-range area, because look, he throws a couple of shots, left hand, right hook, right around the guard. Subriel and him, now they're on the inside, they're head to head, but Paro's trying to smother him here. Boom, he smothers that left hook to the body and just gets Subriel off of him. Subriel was kind of like, he was getting pushed around in this fight a lot. He was letting that happen. I'm curious to see if other opponents are going to make note of that and see what happens in their fights moving on, because he's not a guy that's easy to be physical with, but Liam Paro was able to do that successfully. Right here in the corner again, goes with the jab, and Paro was able to just get out of there. Kind of telegraphs it, slips the jab. Like there's a little tell there that Paro picked up on, where Subriel Matias, he's closed in here. He has the high guard. He drops his hand really low to throw that punch. I got to lower my mic so it's not going to sound as good, but he's here. And instead of just throwing that jab, just throwing it right here, throwing that jab and just not moving his hand down, he's moving it down, drops his hand, and it gives Liam Paro time to sort of slip that, smother him on the inside, and create that space that he eventually wants. It's the same thing as when you play basketball and you get a pass and you're going to shoot a three. You're taking more time and you're giving the defense a chance to contest your shot if you're getting the pass and you're bringing the ball down and then coming back up, which a lot of people do. Human reflex type of thing. Or if you even get the ball, Steve Novak used to do this at times. He used to play for the Knicks, the Clippers, etc. You just get the ball, just shoot it up. You wouldn't bring it back down, or at least it wouldn't be a big range of motion. Like it wouldn't be like a three-step process in terms of catch, bring ball down, and then up and release. It would just be like catch, release, catch, release. That probably looked bad, but like you got to understand how I'm sitting here. You know, it's hard to do at a table with the mic. You don't want to knock expensive shit over, and all these different things. But look, so here he brings his hand down, and Liam Paro, he has time to just slip. And here we go on the inside. And now we're going to hold so we can get out of the corner. Subriel's doing what he can, but he was telegraphing his shots, and Liam Paro was picking that up. Let's keep watching. So over here, nice 1-2 combo. Like, despite the fact that Subriel Matias has a high guard, Liam Paro was able to go right through it. It was like these little mistakes that he was able to take advantage of. It was just simple boxing. Just boom. Maybe thinking about his next shot. Both of those get through, and then throws an uppercut here. I think that's good punch selection because he notices that Subriel Matias, which he kind of often does, his head leans forward, throws that uppercut, doesn't really land it, but it's good punch selection still, good process. Good uppercut on the inside there from Liam Paro. Works the body a little bit and then hits him with that left hook. Again, we'll bring it back here. Here we go. Covers up, boom. It's like Subriel's like, all right, he's not getting through my high guard now. So Liam Paro's like, all right, cool, I'll come around it. Left hook. To the body here. Leans forward, smothers that punch. Eats a uppercut a little bit, but throws that left hand, which is the best punch of the entire exchange. It's good boxing. I want to move forward, so I don't want to harp on this too much because there's a couple more things to really highlight here. But again, just so that you understand the foundation here, there's a right hand to the body. Cool. Got Liam Paro on the ropes again. And Paro's like, no, you don't. Smother, push him away, and now off the ropes. Liam Paro on the ropes again. Not really. Easy combo. Footwork. Subriel's trying to track him, just not quick enough. And this is where the fight really tilts in Liam Paro's favor. Like, you could say he's leading with his head, and he kind of is, but if the ref's not calling it, you can do it. Look at this jab right through the guard. Opens him up. Boom. Come around it. A headbutt. If the ref is going to allow it, by all means, it's on the table. And then throws another uppercut here, and he's off the ropes again. Subriel can't make him pay. Another mistake that Matias makes. So he has Liam Paro again on the ropes, and he loads up. Boom, load up on the left hook, load up on the left hook to the body, and that just gives Liam Paro time to get away from there. Slow motion. So he's going to load up, boom, everything he has around the guard. Liam Paro's like, all right, cool. So look at that. He already sees it. He already sees it. He's going to load up a second time. And that was a good shot. You know, got around the guard, landed, but here's one to the body, and that gives him enough time to, like, he punched him on, like, the side of his ass. Liam Paro's out of there. And he gives him a left hand. Missed that. He gives him a left hook right around there, and they're back in the center of the ring. Now they're in the center of the ring. So here's Paro, boom, 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 left hook around the guard again. And Subriel's like, all right, you're hanging around here a little too long. Let me give you a couple shots for your trouble. Boom, in the center of the ring again, smothering his shots. But Subriel actually lands a couple times here. Got him in the corner. Nice uppercut. Lets him off, though. And there's the footwork again. This is where Subriel Matias wants to be on the inside. Throws that uppercut. Boom! And he gets that left one. That one lands. This is one of his biggest punches of the fight to this point. So let's go back. Let's go back a little faster than that beat. Come on. All right. So here we go. Smothering. Tangled up. Boom. There's a right uppercut. Doesn't really land, but the left one does. Bang! And that one staggers Liam Paro. You see my Puerto Rican people get up after that one. Listen, man, we love offense. What can I say? We love offense. I enjoy the sweet science, but we all like knockouts. It is what it is. So here we go. Here's a left uppercut, slow motion, bang! And there's the right hook also coming around. Liam Paro's trying to get out of there. Almost eats that left hook, but still, those shots got people's attention because you see everybody getting up right behind. Now let's see what he can do with it. Boom. Another big uppercut. This is where he's at his best right here. On the inside again. Boom. Right hook. Temple. Slow motion. Throws that left uppercut. Boom. Really setting up for that left hook around the guard. Boom. Right uppercut. That backs up. Liam Paro gets his attention. It's a great shot. Let's see that full speed. Boom. Bang. Right uppercut. It's beautiful work. This is where Matias was down on the cards, and it was like, is he down by that much? Whatever the case may be. I know this looks one-sided, but these are highlights at the end of the day. In watching the fight, I remember after the first 7 rounds, he got 2 of them maybe. So it wasn't an insurmountable, like he was in a hole, but it wasn't insurmountable. Here's round 8. Boom, right to it, right to it. That's what he should be doing. Like, don't load up, don't waste time. This is him at his best. So here we go. Pressure on the ropes. And now we're not going to let you breathe. We're not going to load up. Boom. Left uppercut. Beautiful. We're going to stay inside now. Boom. Boom. Left hook. Temple. Boom. Left hook. Temple again. Really rocked him there. Paro back on the inside. So is Matias. Boom. Beautiful left uppercut. Let's look at that again. Some body work there. And then boom. Takes advantage of that mid-range sort of area. Yeesh. Left hook around the guard again. Matias like relaxes here with his hands. Paro takes advantage. All right, your right hand's not where it's supposed to be. Boom. Left uppercut on the inside. That was beautiful. Here we go. Liam Paro back to boxing. Uppercut hook. Moves. Steps back. Smothers his punches on the inside. Gets off the ropes. Going back to what he was doing before. And then here's the pressure from Subriel Matias with the uppercuts on the inside. He really found something there with the uppercuts on the inside. And Liam Paro goes back to holding. But round 8 was good. Round 8 was very, very interesting. Some of these rounds might have been tough to score in the moment. Here we have round 10. Subriel Matias getting off a little bit. Still at round 10. Boom. Subriel Matias overreaching because he thinks this is going to stay on the inside. Liam Paro just perfect. That's just perfect boxing right there. Just gets out, just flicks that jab. And then over here, boom, rocks Subriel a little bit and gets on the inside again. And then over here at the end, it just feels like Subriel Matias is just kind of just throwing shit. Like it didn't look like he had a plan. Didn't look like he had enough counters. And Liam Paro stuck to his game plan, which is clearly to just rough him up at times, but also keep his distance, fight in that mid-range, sometimes be in a long range, stay off the ropes, continuous movement, counters, punching to the body, going through the high guard, just all these little different things of the holding, the pushing, just getting Subriel Matias off rhythm and off his game. Okay, so as of the time we're recording this, Subriel Matias is about to fight Roberto Ramirez. And this is a comeback fight. This is the second fight of 2024. Subriel Matias, we should mention, is also 32 years old. So not exactly young, maybe at the edge of his athletic prime, doesn't have a ton of wear and tear because was a little bit late to turn pro and hasn't been super active. So there's a reasonable case that his best is yet to come. But now we're going to talk about whether or not he could be world champion again. First, he has to win his fight against Roberto Ramirez. I think he will. He is a favorite for good reason, and this is a better matchup for him. Roberto Ramirez, I don't think is going to be trying to do a lot of the same things that Liam Paro did. If he did, he'd be wise, but I don't know if he'd be as effective because Liam Paro is just better. He was underrated coming into that Subriel Matias fight, and in hindsight, he could have been champion sooner because he was scheduled to fight Regis Prograis 1 year earlier. Regis Prograis ends up fighting another Puerto Rican, Danielito Zorrilla, and barely wins that fight. He was a replacement opponent for Liam Paro, who got injured. If Liam Paro fights Regis Prograis that night, despite the fact that it's in New Orleans, but still, Regis Prograis' hometown, but Liam Paro probably beats Regis Prograis that night, given what we've seen from both guys since. Roberto Ramirez heads into this fight with Subriel Matias, having won 3 straight, but did lose by knockout 4 years ago to William Zepeda. That's the second time he's been knocked out in his career. Also has another stoppage loss to Abel Ramos, who is a familiar name for those of you who pay attention to the welterweight division. That is ultimately what Subriel Matias is up against. And then in the 140 weight pound class, to sum it all up, I do think he could be a world champion again because this weight class is chaos. It's just pure chaos. So the WBC champion is Alberto Puello. If Subriel Matias fights Alberto Puello, I still think a lot of people probably take Matias to win that fight. I'd be curious to what the betting odds would be. I think it'd be pretty close, but I think he can beat Puello. I also think Puello is slept on and could potentially beat Matias and do some of the same things that Liam Paro did. It's just a matter of can he remain upright. But he had a good win against Gary Antoine Russell, and I think he's legit, and he's apparently clean now. Devin Haney's a champion of recess. We don't know what his future is going to hold. Devin Haney is obviously super skilled, super talented, great counterpuncher, and can do a lot of these same things. But could his chin hold up against Subriel Matias like the way Liam Paro's did? Because Liam Paro took some shots. We saw what happened against Ryan Garcia. Now, doesn't count, no contest, but we saw what happened, and that could still affect your chin moving forward as your career progresses, which is the worry that I have about Devin Haney. Putting him in the ring with Subriel Matias, probably not something that you should be running to do. Matias right now is ranked number 9 by the WBC, so we probably don't have to worry about that right now anyway. He's not ranked at all by the WBA, which is very interesting, but Rayo Valenzuela is the champion. Maybe he has a rematch with Isaac Cruz. The IBF, Liam Paro's champion. Subriel Matias is still in the top 5. Maybe he can climb his way back. We'll see what happens when Liam Paro fights Richardson Hitchens, because that's not a gimme for Liam Paro either. Jack Catterall just beat Regis Prograis. Maybe he's next in line because he's highly ranked by the IBF. Arnold Barbosa has a fight coming up with Jose Ramirez. It's going to have some potential championship ramifications. He's underdog in that fight. Jose Ramirez is a former unified champion in this division. In the WBO, Teofimo Lopez, who's, I think, the all-around best in this weight class, but is not unbeatable, as we've seen. He is champion. That's not even to mention guys like Sandor Martin. We don't know what the future is for Josh Taylor. Probably doesn't matter at this point. Regis Prograis might retire. This weight class is pretty loaded. Not in a way that suggests there are a bunch of guys that are unbeatable. I think everybody's beatable here, and they could all beat the shit out of each other. I think Subriel Matias can become champion again, but he needs to look impressive against Ramirez. And I think if he does that, he can get right back in the mix. That's all we have for today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Doing this independently, so any support is welcome. Tell your friends. Watch time, and otherwise we're going to have more boxing stuff coming up soon. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, and we're going to have to talk about that, as well as Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor too. Thank you for watching. See you next time.